Always a good thing when the person who works here tells you you did it right. Is Amazon still causing when I work for them? Do they cause my anxiety level to go up to an 11? Absolutely. All right, I just won tickets to see Willie Nelson. Man, you guys are probably wondering where the heck I've been. I'm still out here playing the game. Man, so let's get into it. I put in a prior video about my absence. Everything's good with the trucking business. Everything's been fine. To recap, family member had a stroke. Thought we were going to lose him mid-December. They said call the family and this is it. Fortunately, they rebounded from that. I've seen him go from bedbound to wheelchair-bound to walker to cane, and then now they're able to just get by completely on their own. They don't need any assistance. So I don't want to overstate my position here. I've been a part of that, I'll say. I've been, taking them to doctor's appointments, doing stuff like that. Haven't had a lot of time for trucking, unfortunately. Q1 2025, first quarter of having this trucking business now for a little over 3 years. And first time I've actually operated at a loss, but it was just, it's just a matter of putting first things first with that family member. And I'll be honest, and I do have I've got a lot to say about Amazon. I do have another future video coming up, probably the next video I make. Q1 of 2025, even if I didn't have going on with my family what I did have going on, I don't think I would have been working for Amazon. It's too much to go into in this video. It deserves its own video, that type of thing. But look for a video from me in the real near future as far as it just this last quarter they have changed a lot. Their rates have just been terrible. I have done a little bit of trucking. I do own my own trailer. I've always mentioned I do have my own trailer. What work I have been doing has been with like other people. I do have a few direct customers that kind of keep me kind of busy. Not enough to sustain me, but it kind of keep the lights on. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the Q1 Amazon 2025 in Southern California has just been terrible. Got kind of a tight turn here. All right, we made it. The other thing I was going to say is, yes, I'm back doing an Amazon load right now. In fact, I just left DSD8. Doing kind of a strange, I'm doing a third-party one, something I typically don't do. It's a cardboard load. I just kind of wanted to take you through it. It's just one of those things, I don't really see this very often. I have done it before, but I figured I'd share the experience with you. It's one of those things that if you're looking at on the load board and you see where, they say these things can go up to 45,000 pounds, they put that as like a buffer. I suppose that it could go up that much. I was just peeking in the back of the trailer. There's no way it's 45,000 pounds. It doesn't say on the BOL exactly how much it weighs because I'm getting ready to go to a place and drop it off, and they actually weigh you. I'll walk you through it when we get there. They kind of weigh you before and then they weigh you after, and I'll have an exact answer on what this is, but there's no way. I'll be shocked if this trailer is over 10,000 pounds. But anyway, just heading down to this third-party site, and I'll check in with you when I get down there. One thing I forgot to add is, is Amazon still causing when I work for them? Do they cause my anxiety level to go up to an 11? Absolutely. Ironically enough, on the way up here, I was due here at 8:30. I do at DSD8 at 8:30. I arrive on site at 8:28. Screenshot of, arrival successfully detected, so I'm covered there. But then, sure enough, they start sending me an email saying, late truck, all this kind of stuff like that. And I'm responding to them. And it just, it's one of those things. It's like, it's Amazon working against Amazon, and unfortunately, you're the one that pays the price. But I'm standing outside, I'm ringing the doorbell. It says ring the doorbell every 2 minutes. I'm hitting it every 2 minutes, like on the screws. And I'm standing out there for like 15 minutes. Finally, some guy comes out. He wasn't even there for me. He was coming out into the yard to check for something. And he's like, oh, I didn't know you were out here. it's like, well, I've been hitting the bell and everything like that. And he goes, oh, I just got here. He goes in and he checks with his coworker, and he's like, did you hear the doorbell ring? And she's like, no, I didn't hear anything. And I look at her, and she's wearing noise cancellation AirPods, listening to who knows what. But it's like, thank you, Amazon, for for sending me that late truck stuff. Meanwhile, you got an employee inside whose job it is, I assume, is to listen for like the doorbell to ring, and they've got noise canceling AirPods in, listening to what they want. So it's one of those things. It's like there's parts of this. I am glad sometimes when I work for other people, just because it's like there's parts of this. It's like, okay, Amazon, how is that my fault? But yet you can bet your ass that they're sending me, hey, you got a late truck, what's going on? And it's like, what's going on is I'm standing outside of your door, hitting the doorbell, and nobody's coming to help me. But I don't mean to bitch, but like, if you work for Amazon, if you're hauling for them, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not working for Amazon yet and you're thinking about like, hey, I do want to work for them, just know that like little things like this, they're not that big of a deal. And I already checked, it didn't affect my grade, but it's like little things like this for sure are in your future. I don't ever want to paint the picture and just show like just the good. There's plenty of good and there's plenty of bad, and you're going to find yourself standing outside of a door getting emails from them saying, why are you late? And it's like, I'm not late, I'm right here, I just need you to answer the door. Interesting little spot they've got back here. I've been here before. You got to get the trailer just lined up right so that the wheels end up on these ramps. How you doing today?
Hi.
Is this okay? Is this gonna work?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right. Always a good thing when the person who works here tells you you did it right. That's one of my fears, is I did it wrong. So this is one of those third-party sites where you definitely want to know what you're getting into before you get here. This is the SD Fibers at 4040 Lock Ridge. When you do come at this, you want to come in on Market Street, so you're heading west on Market Street. You want to turn left on Whitmore. It's going to loop around to Lock Ridge Street, and then that way you're making a left into this place. I can't tell you how many times I see guys come in off of Raven Street, and they need to make a right into here, and it's just like an impossible right. There's cars parked on the street. Technically, if you come down Raven Street, there's a sign that says like no left turn onto Raven Street, but some guys still do it and come at this the wrong way. You loop around here, you come through once. I've already been through the scales once. They weigh you when you come in. Then I'm going to exit here, do the same little loop around, and come in with an empty trailer. They're going to weigh me again to like assess how much cardboard I actually brought down here. And so I'll know the weight of this stuff once this thing's through, once I get my BOL sign. But it is important to know, like, if you come here, definitely, if you're on Market Street, don't turn down Raven Street, turn down Whitmore. It's a quick one. I mean, I've been here before and there's been like 3 or 4 trucks. Sometimes it can take a little bit, but like I just pulled up. I was due here at 9:30. Got that warning from Amazon the whole way down here saying you cannot check in 30 minutes before. You cannot check in 30 minutes before. And I think my ETA was like 9:29. So I drove 55 miles an hour the whole way down here. I was the slow guy today. But yeah, I ended up getting here at like 9:29. It wouldn't let me check in until 9:30, and then finally it said proceed to check in. So it's one of those third-party sites too, where some of them you can show up like hours before. This is one where they'll give you 30 minutes, and if you get here a minute before, just like what happened to me, they will not let you check in. But anyway, a question for you guys: when you're on the road and you need over, and there's a polite car back there that either gives you enough room or flashes the lights at you, how much do you use that that marker light? I'm obsessed with it. I'm one of those people who, I'll tell you a funny story about me when I got into trucking. I always knew that truckers did that. I always knew that, like, hey, you made room for them, or you flashed your lights, and they'd make the back end of their truck light up. I didn't know how to do that when I got into trucking, and I'm like, well, when cars do that to me, I got to make the back light up somehow. Stupid me. I was using my 4-way flashers. Somebody would let me in and I'd turn my 4-way flashers on thinking that was it. I was probably like 6 months into trucking before I realized there's a little button on here for the marker lights. So it just, I'm a slow learner, but I'll get there. But I'm just curious, when you do have that polite car who lets you in, how How obsessed are you with hitting that marker light? Are you a 1 or 2 press guy, or are you like me? Are you like a, man, let's fire this thing off 10, 12 times, let them know I really appreciate them? I'm just coming back here to check on him. I feel some movement going on in there. Just kind of seeing what's going on. They have all the cardboard loaded up onto these pallets. I'm just seeing where it's at. How are you? This is it. They load all this stuff up onto pallets, and then it's real easy for these guys to get it out of here. I don't want to be in his way. Looks like they're about halfway through the trailer now. But this place, I mean, not only do they do cardboard, I would never bring recycling here, but I mean, they do glass, they do cans. They've got bales of cans over there. And we got a bulldog sitting right here saying, Dad, what's going on? You gonna take me for a walk at our next stop? Yeah, you know that word, you know walk. You wanna go for a walk, you good boy? We'll do it. We'll go for a walk. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. You're the best coworker I've ever had. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tell me about it. I think Lou's ready to go. I mean, you seem to be kind of calling the shots right now, barking. You're talking awfully big. If I got you a treat, say I went into the back and got some beef jerky. If you gotta let me talk. If I got you a treat, would you shake? Would you sit? Oh, you're offering the paw? Would you shake? You're a good. Okay, I'll get you some beef jerky. I'll get you some. Hold on, you stay. You stay. Can't give you too much because I don't want you to get sick. But I will give you a piece of beef jerky. We tear this piece in half. Gotta keep the boss happy. Okay. Will you sit? Will you shake? You are a good boy. Yes, you are. I like keeping you happy. Now quit barking. Quit barking. Don't bark. All right, guy just comes up to my door, tells me the trailer's empty. I'm just letting this thing air up, gonna pull forward a little bit, go back, close those trailer doors, and then drive around, let them re-weigh me, and get my paperwork signed. Let's do it. Lou, you stay. I'll be right back. You stay, buddy. I'll be right back. That is an empty trailer. Always have this fear of getting to right here, looking back at the truck and seeing Lou jump out the driver's side window. I try to keep that armrest up and the window closed so he can't get up there, but let's see if he's finagled his way over there. Nope, he's a good boy. He's sitting right where he's supposed to. All right, loop this thing around so you can see where we're going. And let's go get reweighed. Yeah, you could see here where if you were coming down Market Street, I'm gonna let this guy go because, go ahead, it's gonna take me a lot longer. You could see if you were coming in off of Market Street, heading south, and you turned left onto Raven Street, making a right turn into this place. To a more experienced truck driver, that might not be a problem, but for me, I'd rather just make a left in here. All right. Now there is a box truck coming out. So I am gonna just wait right here. Turn those flashers on. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We got this guy coming out right there. Box trucks can come out that way. I cannot. So we're gonna let him go. We're gonna go in there and get reweighed. All right, Terrytown box truck is out of the way. Let's do it. Be sure the ass end of my trailer makes it. Get this thing sitting here on the scales. Go get my paperwork. How's it going? You need the trailer number? Okay. do I sign? All right. Have a good day. Thank you. All right, bill of lading. Total weight, 6,800 pounds. Passing one of my favorite spots right here, this bow-legged barbecue. If you're ever down in this part of town, that place is awesome. The bread pudding is to die for. I mean, the food's real good too, but if you're a fan of bread pudding, definitely recommend checking it out. What have I been doing now that I'm back, kind of messing around with Amazon again a little bit? The rates have come up. It's not like how it's been in the past. Again, I don't want to get too far in the weeds into my next video as far as the current, I'm going to call it something along the lines of the current state of Amazon 2025. But probably the last week or so, 10 days, I've been going out and just doing these, little runs. They're still paying all right for these little runs around town. They're not as plentiful as they've been in the past. The other thing too is it's I've always said, and I don't ever hide this, I do spend a lot of time watching the load board, and historically the juice has been worth the squeeze. Lately it just has not, and so I've been kind of stringing together a little load here, a little load there. What I did last night, how I ended up last night was the perfect example of it. I went out, I did 3 or 4 of these little runs that they have that are, close to $200, maybe close to $300, quick little shots around town. And then one thing I started paying attention to, I've always filtered out. There's a filter on there that says show me the max distance that this, or the max time, that this is gonna take. And it's always been a way for me to weed out third-party sites. I'm never a fan of these loads that are hey, go 43 miles, it's 3 stops, and oh, by the way, it takes 27 hours. That's never anything over usually my filter on that's 4 or 6 hours, depending on what my mood is. But I've always filtered these out. What I've been paying attention to recently are, string together as many of these little ones as I can, but I started noticing that on these long trip durations, the mileage isn't long, but the long trip durations, they do kind of pay out the nose for them because it takes all day. Now, I don't want to misrepresent this. During the time, if you do one of these long runs, you are an ineligible driver. Not ineligible. Sometimes I talk fast. You're not an eligible driver. You are ineligible. And so you can't, if you book an 18-hour load and you've got a big gap in your day, you can't go out and book work during that time. So it's important to know that. But what I've been doing is I've been scheduling one of those that pays all right at the end of my day. So last night, perfect example, I think I did maybe 3-4 of these little $200-300 loads, and then at the end of my day I did it was take a trailer from SCA 7 to San 5, which I was already in Otay. Both of those things were in Otay, but then it had an 18-hour gap, and I used that 18-hour gap to go home, do my little 10-hour reset, be a father, be a husband, do all that kind of stuff, which I was gonna do anyway. And then the second half of that was at 2 in the morning, 18 hours later, running a trailer 8 miles. All in all, I'm not tripping out on the amount because it was only I think it was 8 or 9 miles, but it paid $43 an hour. It was over $300 for doing this. And so that's what obviously I can't do it every day because I'm an ineligible driver for the whole time. But if I can bookend the end of a successful night like I had with one of these that, hey, okay, yeah, it takes 18 hours, but it stays in town and they're paying out the nose because of the time duration that it takes, I can make that work. So I've always filtered those out. I'm now kind of looking at the load board more globally as far as okay, where where does this one end up and how much time is it going to take, and is that time, can I fit a reset in there? And if that's the case, then that's either going to be the first part of it's going to either be the end of my day, or the second part of it running over to doing the TIJ5 in the middle of the night. That's now the start of my next day. So that's kind of what I've been doing to kind of get by. Again, I have a lot to say. I haven't been getting back to people. I've been super busy with family stuff. I'm looking to change that. Back in the truck now, obviously. I mean, excited to be here. I'll tell you, this gets into your blood and you love it. I was telling my wife, it's like, man, I can't wait to get back in that truck. And I mean, I've been so much happier these last 10 days that I've been working and actually coming out here making money. So excited to be back here. Cool thing happened to me the other day. Early morning, radio station has this little thing saying caller 10 wins, and I call thinking like there's no way I'm gonna win. All right, I just won tickets to see Willie Nelson on the radio, and anyway, won tickets to Willie Nelson. He's coming to San Diego, sent a text to my wife, of all things, it was on April Fool's. She's like, yeah, right, April Fool's, whatever like that. And I had the camera with me, and I had a feeling they would say something about it on the radio. Here's what they said.
280 on the nose as of last night. Shout out Todd, just won those Outlaw Music Festival tickets at 6 a.m. Next pair coming up at 9 o'clock. I call him Hot Rod Todd. He's going to see Willie Nelson and his guitar named Trigger. Also, guys, Meat Madness. It continues on. The bracket, we're going to give you a full bracket update as we're on to the Elite 8. Spelled ATE. We are trying to figure out what is the champion.
And just like that, we're going to Willie Nelson. Lou, you excited to go to Willie Nelson? You gonna see one of the last highwaymen? The last highwayman. He can outsmoke Snoop. So I'm totally excited about that. I mean, looking forward to, I'm a huge fan of that, late 70s, early 80s outlaw country. That's the bulk of what I listen to. Willie Nelson, the last living highwayman. I'm honored to be able to go and see him, and I'm thrilled that I won tickets to it. It's like, what are the chances of that? You never win stuff on the radio. And when he picked up and he's like, "You're caller 10, how would you like to go see Willie Nelson?" It's like, hell yeah, let's do it. So that's pretty much it. Getting ready to go drop this empty trailer off at San 5. Wanted to take you through a third-party site just to kind of, show you the ins and outs of it. I guess I'll end with this. With all this time off, I've taken a serious look at my health. I got kind of tired of talking about I'm gaining weight, I'm doing this. You can't tell. I think because of my height, I could probably gain 20, 30 pounds and you probably couldn't tell the difference. But I'm down 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. I've made some rules, water only in the truck. My goal is 70,000 steps a week. I kind of had to make that a weekly goal just because there's no way I can do 10,000 a day on days that I drive. But you can bet your ass I make up for it when days that I'm not driving. And, I'm coming with receipts on that. I can take you through hikes. I can take you through stuff that I do to kind of move my ass more and feed my mouth less. But anyway, I hope this video serves you well. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Hope this video serves you well. Appreciate you taking the trip with me. Take care.